I think a little more studious like this, but I need them to read, and I'm in the hallway. So, as I've previously discussed, today we will be looking at the Law of One. So this is a channeled piece. This is just book one. There are 4 volumes in total, and plus there's loads of information on the LL Research website as well. So, quite simply, a bit of background information. So, the Law of One is a channeled piece. It's done by 3 people primarily: Don, Carla, and Jim. Now, Don Elkins was a scientist who specialised in physics and mechanical engineering, as well as a professor. And he had an absolutely deep fascination with everything UFOs, ufology, and the paranormal, as well as having studied various spiritual paths such as Buddhism, Hinduism, and being aware of elements of the various bringing back from the dead, resurrection stuff that's in Judaism. And through his deep dive in ufology, he made like so many contacts within the industry, including Hal Price, who was from the Ford Motor Company, and a guy called Walt Rogers, who was already conducting his own independent research. So together they decided to get together, and they sort of pretty much enrolled 12 students on a volunteer basis from Don's physics class, and they had really no idea what they were going to be doing. They were just told there's some meditation involved, and that was it. But quite simply, they put these 12 people in a circle and let them do silent meditation. They pretty much contemplated. And this went on for about 6 months, and then Carla joined. You don't need to know how. She had a boyfriend that was part of it, but anyway, so Carla ended up joining this group. And it was when Carla joined that the group really started to come into its own, and they started to do, within the group, individual or independent channeling. So it wasn't like a group collective. They were in this group, and yet they were independently channeling within the group. They weren't allowed to discuss. They had to write it down afterwards, and there was a lot of connectivity between the findings from the channelings, even though they weren't actually allowed to discuss. It's quite a scientific-based study group. But in 1980, a guy called Jim McCarty was invited to join by Don and Carla, and they'd already now set up what's today called the LL Research. And so Jim joined this study group as well. And it was during this time, using Carla as the vessel, Don as the questioner, and Jim as the scribe, that Carla went into what is best described as an intensive trance. And this is when what we know as the entity called the Ra group made first contact with her. Now, Ra introduced themselves as a group, not an individual. They call themselves the Ra group, and they are known as We, Not I. So they are Ra. So Ra says they are a humble messenger, and they explained they had once walked among the people that the group now knew as the ancient Egyptians, and helped them in their philosophical wisdom, in the meaning and belief that we are all one, okay? So although we're individuals, as humans, we are all actually collectively one, and that the universe and all things in it are also one system. You look at a source energy, or as some call it, a creator and a unified creation. So this is what Ra introduced to the group. It is quite heavy. I'm at 4 minutes now, actually almost come to 5 minutes. So there will be a part 2 to this bit, and I'll briefly talk about what happened during the Egyptian era when Ra said they walked among them, and the premise of the Great Pyramid. You can also find out more information and deeper dives on my Patreon. And I know that TikTok doesn't like things like that mentioned. So obviously if you go there and just put in cat cauldron, you will come across it. I will link it under my bio as well in the tree that's there. Many thanks and enjoy.